Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina and today is my 2021 Project Pan intro. So I'm really excited about this intro because I just love Project Pans just generally, but I'm like so hesitant because as you guys know, I just posted my finale for the 2020 Project Pan, and for whatever reason, last year's Project Pan was so insanely successful that I am nervous about this year because I feel like when you come off such a good high, like there's no way that I could possibly live up to that expectation ever again, or at least not for a couple more years. I just feel like it's not feasible to think that I'm gonna be as successful this year as I was last year. So I'm a little nervous and I've amended my rules for this year's Project Pan. I'm starting out with 10 items and I've decided I'm going to be doing a rolling 10 pan for this year. I'm going to give myself a quarterly refresh in case anything isn't being used or I'm just not enjoying something. So quarterly I get to do this, so every 3 months I will do a refresh, and it's a rolling 10 pan. So if I finish something, something else will roll into its place. I also am not 100% sure what my goal should be as far as products. I just kind of want to see how many I can do in a year. Originally, I was going to say I'm going to go for 21 items, but that seems really big in comparison to how much I finished last year. So I'm a little hesitant, but I kind of just want to see how many we can do and give I just kind of want it to be a little bit more of a loose end kind of project this year, just to make myself feel a little bit better and less nervous. So those are the general rules for this year's Project Pan. It's a rolling 10 pan with a quarterly refresh, and we're just kind of gonna see how much I can actually finish or hit goal on. If you like the sounds of that, definitely hit the like button. And now let me go ahead and start introducing the products to you guys. So a couple weeks ago, I did a plan to pan video. A lot of the items that I'm mentioning today were mentioned in that video. And this first item is definitely one of the ones I mentioned. And it is my double lasting foundation from Etude House. This is one of my favorite foundations in my collection, but I have had it longer than most of my other ones, and it isn't cruelty free, so I would like to get it finished. It's actually what I'm wearing on my face today. I think it's actually the foundation I've worn for the last like 2 weeks basically, and I haven't marked it yet, but I can see it with my lights. It is about halfway empty already, so I'm starting out at a pretty good point with this foundation. I want to completely finish this, and I have a couple of other foundations on my mind that I want to finish this year. So we are going to start with this one, which I like that I'm able to pan a foundation that I really love, because I feel like that really works for me, because I feel like it makes it a lot easier. There was a couple foundations I tried to pan last year that I didn't like as much, and it was difficult, and a lot of them just ended up getting decluttered. This one I know I can finish because I love it. I will actually be very sad when this is done, but this is item number 1. You guys will also be seeing the weights and initial progress pictures or initial pictures of all of these products as well, so we can keep a good track of them. That's how we'll be keeping track, is weights, progress pictures, and I will also be tracking my usage, as I always do, in a notebook or in my bullet journal with tally marks. So we will definitely know how much I use these. Product number 2 is another thing that I mentioned in that plan to pan video, and it is one of my Bath & Body Works body sprays. I am very happy to note that my mom did not get me one of these this year, so we only have the 3 that I mentioned in that video to get through this year. And I'm excited because this one, as you guys can tell, I have attempted to pan multiple times at this point, and I'm ready for it to go. This one should be pretty easy. It is down here where this line is, and I'm gonna use it as a room spray to get it out of here. I think this will be gone by the first update is my hope, but then my other 2 body sprays are basically full. So those are the ones that I really wanna spend the majority of the year on. I need to get this out of the way, get it out of here, forget about it, and move on. So this is item number 2. Item number 3 is another item that I mentioned in that video, and it is from my Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean face palette, which you guys know I adore this palette. I love it so much. My first goal in this is to completely finish this highlight right here at the top. This is the highlight called Fortune. I want to finish it. I want it to be empty in there, and then we'll probably move on to the contour shade right here, or the bronzer shade next to it, and be done with this palette altogether. I'll probably, one of you guys actually recommended that after I finish the 2 shades that I love, to just clean this out and then use it as like a Fraken palette, which I love that idea because that means I can keep the palette and have a use for it other than, you know, just taking up space, obviously. So then that's what we're gonna do. Our goal is to finish those 2 shades this year, but we are, as of right now, only focusing on the highlight, and I think that's doable. I think I should be able to get through it. You guys know I'm not really using highlight in the same way that I used to, but I've been trying to reincorporate it into my routine again, just so I can get through a lot of my highlights. So I've mainly just been like loosely putting it over my face before I put on bronzer and blush, and that way it gives me an all over glow. That's basically how I'm using it, so I can use a little bit more, I feel like, doing it that way. So I think it should go pretty quickly. I'm hoping in like 4 months that one should be gone. The 4th product that I want to pan, another highlight, and it is one of my Becca highlights. You guys know I finished one of these last year, and my goal is to pan this first because there's no pan in this. The one that I ended up finishing last year already had pan in it when I put it into the project. So this is the Becca highlight in Rose Quartz. I'm gonna use this probably as a blush topper, so we're gonna see how fast that goes. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on hitting pan on this and then probably moving it out. I don't know how long that will take. I have no idea. Hopefully not too long. If it's really, really easy and I feel like I can do it, I may try to also finish this, but that might be pretty lofty seeing that this one doesn't even have pan in it. There's not even a sizable dip in this guy. So main goal, hit pan on this, probably using it as a blush topper. We'll see how that goes. Next item is one that I want to completely finish, and that is my Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Primer. Now I've been using this guy a ton this month. It already has pretty good wear out of it, but definitely a lot more product is in here. So I would like to finish this. It's not that I don't like this primer. I think I've just gotten to the point now where I don't really use primers too much. I would just kind of like to get a majority of them out of here. I have one new primer on its way to me that's a hydrating primer. For the most part, I think I'm gonna stick to my e.l.f. Jelly Pop, which you guys know is my favorite primer ever. Stick to that one and hydrating primers. I don't hate pore filling primers, but I honestly don't feel like I need them anymore. I don't have an issue with my pores. I've kind of just grown to accept them and love them. And so I don't really mind not having them filled in with something. So I would just like to get this out of the way. I don't mind the way it looks, of course, but it's just not something that I feel like I need in my life. So I want to finish this, get it out of here. I have a couple other pore filling primers that I would like to get through this year, and then just kind of start fresh with my primers. 6th item is a concealer, and this is my Pacifica concealer. This is the full coverage lasting one in the color 20 Neutral Fair. I don't have much left in this, but this is my least favorite concealer in my collection, and I would just kind of like to focus on it so I can get it out of here because I don't tend to want to reach for it over other concealers. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I prefer other ones in my collection. So just to make sure that I finish this guy out and don't just leave like a tiny bit left in it, which is silly in my opinion, I want to make sure that I finish it, use it up, get that one out of here, and then I can focus on all of the other concealers that I have that I enjoy, which I think after that I only have 2 concealers. 7th item is something that I don't think I've ever tried to pan before, but I feel like I've had this for a while and I think I need to focus on it. So it is my Pretty Vulgar eye base. This is a eyeshadow primer. I don't tend to use eyeshadow primers too incredibly often. So often when I buy them, they end up going bad or they don't perform the same anymore because I just keep them around for forever and end up having to throw them out. So I want to make sure that I'm focusing on this one. I've used this a good bit and I do like it. I used it today. But as you can see, there's still a ton of product in here. Like, that's not a huge amount that's been used. So I just want to make sure I'm focusing on this, getting it out of here, making sure that I'm priming my eyelids with an eyeshadow primer if I have one, and just kind of get my money's worth out of this. I have one other eyeshadow primer base in my collection that I would like to also get through this year, and then kind of just only have one in my collection at a time. Next item is a weird one, but it's because I have a huge collection of lip balms and I need to start using them and hopefully not losing them. Using, not losing. So this is a Burts Bees Pomegranate Moisturizing Lip Balm. This guy usually sits on my vanity. I put it on my lips while I'm doing my makeup, and then I usually wipe it off to put on lipstick. And I just want to make sure that I'm always doing that, always getting through this. I have a really hard time with lip balms. If it moves to my purse, it will be gone for all of eternity. So this one typically stays. As you can see, there is a good bit of product left in this guy, so I have a lot of work to do. Since I do work from home and I don't go out too often, I'm hoping that means I can get a lot of use out of that. This is actually all I'm wearing on my lips today. It's moisturizing and it's tinted, so it does give me a little bit of color without being too much. It's something I can put on without looking. So I'm hoping I can make a lot of progress with this and get it out of here. My mom ended up getting me another lip balm for Christmas on top of a bunch of other lip balms that I own already. So it's just something that I need to stay on top of because I end up always having a ton of these just kind of lying around, and it would just be nice to kind of get them out. Burts Bees is also natural, or more natural than a lot of other products, so I don't want it to go bad on me and end up wasting product. I just want to kind of finish it and then move it out of here. Next item is one that I hadn't really considered putting in a project because I kind of forgot I owned it. And this is a Witch Baby body oil. This is a scented body oil that I got, I think, last year, like not 2020, but like 2019, or at the beginning of 2020. So I've had this for a while, and it's just a scented body oil. It's called the Spectre Body Oil, and this is a sample size, and as you can see, I haven't used very much in this at all. I want to get this completely done, just kind of get it out of here. I'm trying to be better about using my body care products and my skincare products. That's why I don't typically put these in project pans, because I don't typically buy multiples of anything, but I kind of forgot I own this, and I have a ton of other lotions and stuff that I need to get through. So I want to focus on this guy for a while. Body oils tend to go pretty quickly for me just because I have pretty dry skin, especially like on my legs and my arms. They get very dry. So body oils tend to soak in really, really quickly. I have another body oil that I think I should also focus on this year, and because I tend to not reach for them as often because of how dry my skin is, I feel like I have to put I tend to have to put body oils on more often, I feel like, than a lotion. Maybe because it doesn't coat as well. I'm not sure. But I feel like this will be very easy once I know to focus on it, and we'll get that one out of here as well. And then 10th and final product that we are gonna be starting off the project pan with is this guy. This is one of my NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams in the color Rome. There is not much left in here. I don't know how much is left in here because apparently these bottles or these tubes are not see-through, because I mean, I'm scraping and you can't see through this bottle at all. And I know you should be able to, because when I put this on, there's not much product coming out onto my lips. So I don't think this will be hard to pan. I want to finish this completely so I can move it out of here as well. This color is beautiful. Absolutely love it. So I don't think this will be a problem. It's an easy wearable shade. Also want to get this completely finished. And that, guys, is the first 10 products that we're gonna start out the year with. I'm hoping that I can be super successful in this, but if not, like I said, we can do a quarterly refresh on this, and we're just kind of seeing how much I can finish in 1 year. I think in my head I have a tentative goal of wanting to hit at least 21 for 2021. I always kind of do that. That's kind of how I set my project pans up typically, but I also just don't want to set myself up for failure after finishing so much last year. A lot of the other products beside, I feel like I picked products that are pretty good to start out with, but after a while, I'm gonna have products that are insanely difficult to finish in a short time period. So I think definitely after the first couple of months of getting through easier products, it's gonna slow down significantly. So I don't wanna set myself up for too much failure this year. So I think generally just kind of seeing how much I can get through with a kind of goal of hitting maybe 20, 21 products. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how excited you are for all of the new project pans starting. Let me know if you're starting a project pan this year down in the comments. I love talking to you guys, and again, thank you guys so much for all of the support. My project pans are definitely my most exciting and favorite series on the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more from me. Again, these project pans go up every month, so if you don't want to miss them, hit that subscribe button. And remember, there's always magic to be found, and I hope that means I see all of you guys in my next video. Bye!
Alright, ooh baby, just hold tight. We're up at the moonlight, believe in the magic. On side, we'll make it feel just right. Just look at that bright light.